Hey guys, what's going on? We have another Alliance War video today, and today my Alliance is going to be going against the Alliance 2-1-1, and these guys are very strong. We faced them last season, so let's see how we do today. I'm going to be starting on Path 9 as usual in Section 1, and my first fight on the Aegis Heavy node is going to be a Kingpin. Kingpin is placed on this node because he can't be parried reliably. So what we're going to do is back up all the way into our corner and bait out a heavy from him and counter with a heavy of our own. So we're going to do this 3 times. And once we get those indestructible charges off him, we can get the fight started. So we're baiting out our last heavy, and usually Kingpin is very free with his special one. Here you can see he wasn't, so I was all the way backed up in the corner here, and I didn't particularly want to push him to his special 2, but you can see here that I had to. So the backup recovery kicks in, and at this point I'm just trying to once again bait out a special one, and he's just not wanting to throw it. So I bait out a second special 2, get the evade on it, and then I use my special 3 to get myself out of the corner. So now we've gotten ourselves out of the corner, and we're just going to try to finish this fight up as quickly as possible. So we're going to bait out, he finally throws his special one, and then we do finish. So our next fight here is going to be a 565 Korg on the Aegis Intercept node. And I'm going to use Ghost for this fight. I do make a couple mistakes. My intention here was to get my intercepts against Korg with a light attack instead of the medium. So you'll see here that I've gotten a few of the charges off. They're all gone now. And then I forget, because I get the charges off, I forget that he still has his rock stats up. So I think I'll make that mistake a couple times. I'm going to throw the special 2 while his rock charges are down, and then his backup recovery kicks in. And I managed to land a parry there. But at this point, I had already taken more Thorns damage than I had intended to. So here I just took a little bit more, and the fight's almost over now. Just going to finish with a special 2, and that fight is over as well. So next up, we're going to go ahead and scout this hidden Aegis Heavy node, and it turns out to be a 565, I believe it was, yep, it was a Darkhawk. So I went ahead and took this fight, and I was having some trouble landing my parries. I'm sure it was me and not the game, but I did take quite a bit of block damage in this fight. And so you'll see I'm just trying to get his indestructible charges off. And then I'm going to go ahead and wait out his shield mode. I got the phase on the special 1. And now we're just waiting out his shield timer. And after that I can just hit into him normally, launch a special 2, and then once again the shield mode will be active. So I'm waiting this out because when he's awakened, if he has his shield mode up, he can parry you. But even unawakened, his shield mode mitigates a lot of the damage that you would take from your normal hits. So at this point, the fight's almost over. I believe at this point I was just trying to heal up a little bit from willpower. But I do end up deciding to just end the fight here in a second. Okay, so we got the full attack bonus on that fight, even if it wasn't the cleanest. And next up, we're going to be moving past the middle minis onto our usual Section 2 path, which is Path 5. And here I'm just going to be boosting up. And our first fight here on the toggle unblockable node is going to be a 6-star unduped yellow jacket. And I believe that this node also has a special 1 bias on it. But overall, I got kind of lucky with my path this time around. It was pretty easy. I was trying to save some potions, so I used a combat regen boost. And here he went unblockable, and we're going to go ahead and use our special 2, and the fight's over. So our next fight here is going to be a rank 4 unduped Punisher. And this one has a special 2 bias, and it's the same thing, the toggle unblockable. And we still have our combat regen boost on. So we're just going to hit him a couple times here to try to manage his power. I don't necessarily want him throwing any of his specials while he's unblockable. I can dex most of the special 1 reliably, but I just don't want to take any risks, and I'm trying to heal up a little bit. So here we're getting ready to drop our special 2, and that ends the fight as well. So pretty easy lane here for Section 2. And next we are going to be moving on to the mini bosses. So this was the second day, and I was at work, and I did sneak away for just a second to clear this part of the lane. So our first fight on the debuff immune and dismay node is going to be a 565 SpiderGwen. So we're going to be using Ghost for this fight. And the global node is dodge here. I think I mentioned that before. So I'm only going to be hitting her once. And it's just going to be pretty much the same fight. If you've seen me do this fight before, it's going to be the same as usual. So hit once, phase a couple times, build to our special 2, and drop that. And the reason that we're only hitting her once again is because Ghost's critical hits can't be evaded. So here she dexed out of my my punish there, my medium attack. And we're gonna phase through her special 1, drop another special 2, and that finishes that fight. So that fight went really well. And our next fight is going to be a 565 Quake on the stun immune and enhanced special 1 node. And you'll see in this fight, I'm not sure if I was playing poorly because I was at work and I felt kind of rushed or what, but this fight does not go as well as usual. You'll see here in just a second. Where is it? Yeah, I get hit almost right away. So at this point, I'm getting kind of nervous. It's towards the end of the war. The war was really, really close at this point. And I'm dealing with about half health. So here, I go ahead and drop a special 2. That does a lot of damage. And then she gets really passive. I get a successful evade of her special 1 there. And then I end up blocking the second special 1. So now I have these aftershock I think they're the aftershock charges on me. And I'm trying to hurry up and get to a special. So I end up having to use a special 1 there. And you can see I'm taking quite a bit of damage over time. and then I can't phase after my special one. So I'm having to block for a second and end up getting more charges on me because she charged her heavy attack. But we do end up getting out of that fight. It was just not very clean. So our last fight today is actually going to be the Invisible Woman boss again. So the last Invisible Woman boss that I took was not SIG-200. This one is. And you can see here that I'm running out of boosts. So I have as many boosts as I can possibly put on for this fight. And I end up cutting this one a little bit closer. So here I'm trying to bait out a heavy attack from her. And with that global dodge node, you can see, I think it's supposed to be 6% since Invisible Woman is small. It's supposed to be a 6% chance to evade. But I feel like she's just evading me constantly in this fight. So I get backed up into the corner a little bit. And it feels like her force field is up almost constantly. So at this point in the fight, we are almost a third of the way through with it. And you can see that she's still at like 97%. So I'm kind of thinking at this point, like, this doesn't feel like it's going the same way that it did last time. And so I'm still just kind of trying to play it out. She goes invisible there. And at some point I decide I just need to get rid of the life model decoy and go unblockable for the remainder of the fight. So you can see she's evading a whole lot. And excuse me too, I think I'm losing my voice. She's healing more from willpower with that force field on than what I'm able to do to her. I get an intercept off there. And I think it's around here that I end up killing off the life model decoy. So if you take a look here, we've got just over a minute left. I take some block hits, and now I've got my my Fury up, and I'm just going to throw my special one into her block to keep her from evading and to keep me from missing. And then I'm going to throw my second special one, and Nick Fury will go completely unblockable. So for the rest of this fight, it's just kind of a race against the clock. I'm at 45 seconds here. You can see there it says miss failed. That's because of my tactical charges, and I'm just ending every combo with a light attack to try to get those bleeds on her, the strong bleeds. And here I throw my special 2. You can see, I think that was like a 40,000 special 2, and she just drops. So that fight, I did get the solo on the boss. It didn't go quite as quickly as it did last time, but it was okay. And we did end up losing this war. It was close right up until the very end, and then 2-1-1 had a really strong finish, and we didn't. So congratulations to both sides, and we'll see you guys in the next one.